Welcome to our channel. Today, we discuss a question that could decide the fate of humanity. Could we actually reverse climate change? Not just slow it down, not just adapt to it, but undo the damage we've done? It sounds like a pipe dream, right? After all, headlines scream about melting ice caps, raging wildfires, and CO2 levels hitting record highs. But what if I told you scientists, engineers, and even policymakers are working on technologies and strategies that could, theoretically, turn back the clock? From sucking carbon out of the sky to hacking the ocean's biology, the tools exist. The real question is, will they work in time? Let's dive in. First, let's get real. Reversing climate change isn't just about planting a few trees or switching to electric cars. It's about removing trillions of tons of greenhouse gases already trapping heat in our atmosphere. Think of it like a bathtub overflowing. We've cranked the faucet, emissions, to full blast for 150 years. Even if we turn it off today, we still need to drain the tub. So how do we do that? Let's start with the most buzz-about solution, direct air capture. Imagine giant machines, like industrial-scale vacuum cleaners, sucking CO2 straight from the air. Companies like Climeworks are already doing this in Iceland, turning captured carbon into stone underground. But here's the catch. To make a dent, we'd need millions of these machines, gulping energy and cash. Right now, it's like using a thimble to empty the ocean. But nature's been doing this for free for millennia. Meet the OG carbon capture tech, trees. Reforestation projects are booming, from Ethiopia's pledge to plant 5 billion saplings to Pakistan's 10 billion tree tsunami. But forests alone won't save us. It'd take covering an area twice the size of India in trees to offset current emissions. And with wildfires and deforestation rampant, it's a fragile solution. That's why scientists are getting creative. Take biochar, a charcoal-like substance made by burning plant waste without oxygen. Bury it, and it locks carbon into the soil for centuries while boosting crop yields. Ancient Amazonians used it to create fertile terra preta soil. Modern farmers from Iowa to Kenya are reviving the practice. It's low-tech, scalable, and dirt cheap. Literally. Now, let's talk oceans, the unsung heroes of carbon capture. The ocean absorbs 30% of our CO2 emissions, but it's paying the price with acidification. Enter ocean fertilization. By sprinkling iron dust into the sea, we could spur phytoplankton blooms that gobble CO2 and sink it to the ocean floor when they die. Experiments in the Southern Ocean showed promise, but critics warn of unintended consequences: toxic algae, disrupted food chains, or even worse, acidification. It's a high-risk, high-reward gamble. Yet, as the clock ticks, some argue we've got no choice but to try. Speaking of risks, let's address the elephant in the room: geoengineering. Solar radiation management, like spraying reflective aerosols into the stratosphere, could cool the planet fast. Too fast, maybe. When Mount Pinatubo erupted in 1991, it spewed enough sulfur dioxide to drop global temps by 0.5 degrees Celsius for 2 years. Mimicking that might buy us time, but at what cost? Skies might bleach white, rain patterns could shift, and if we ever stopped, termination shot with sin temps skyrocketing. It's like taking painkillers for a broken leg instead of setting the bone. Still, as heat waves kill thousands, even skeptics are whispering, what if we need a backup plan? Here's the brutal math. To reverse warming, we need to hit negative emissions, removing more CO2 than we emit. The IPCC says this is non-negotiable to stay under 1.5 degrees Celsius. But right now, we're racing in the wrong direction. Global emissions hit 36.8 billion tons in 2023. Even if we slash emissions by 50% by 2030, we'd still need to pull 10 to 20 billion tons of CO2 from the air yearly to reverse course. That's where tech meets policy. Carbon taxes, fossil fuel phase-outs, and global treaties like the Paris Agreement set the stage. But without a Marshall Plan-level investment in carbon removal, we're just rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic. Now, the good news, we've got momentum. Renewable energy is cheaper than coal in most countries. EVs are going mainstream. Lab-grown meat could soon cut methane-spewing cattle herds. Even big oil is hedging bets. Shell invests in reforestation. Exxon bets on carbon capture. But let's not kid ourselves. Oil giants didn't become giants by playing nice. For every breakthrough, there's a lobbyist killing climate bills or greenwashing scams. Reversing climate change isn't just a science problem, it's a power problem. Who profits from the status quo? And who gets left behind? Which brings us to ethics. Many carbon removal projects, like planting monoculture forests in the global south, displace indigenous communities or wreck biodiversity. Meanwhile, the rich world keeps polluting, banking on future tech to clean up their mess. That's not justice. That's climate colonialism. True reversal requires equity. Imagine a world where farmers in Kenya get paid to sequester carbon in their soils, where oil workers retrain to build wind turbines, where the nations least responsible for emissions lead the solution. It's possible, but it demands a radical rethink of who holds the purse strings and the power. Let's zoom out. Reversing climate change isn't a single eureka moment. It's a mosaic of solutions, tech, policy, culture, and courage. It's restoring wetlands that buffer storms and store carbon. It's retrofitting skyscrapers to be carbon negative. It's you choosing a heat pump over a gas furnace. But most of all, it's a story we choose to tell. Do we resign ourselves to doom? Or do we fight for a future where the air is cleaner, the city's greener, and the planet healing? Here's the truth. We can reverse climate change, but not with magic bullets or Silicon Valley hype. It'll take grit, solidarity, and an unwavering belief that humans, the same species that hacked the atom and mapped the genome, can fix what we've broken. The tools are here. The science is clear. What's missing? Us. Our will to act, vote, and demand better. So what'll it be? Will we rise to the challenge, or let history judge us as the generation that had the tools, but lacked the guts to use them? If this video sparked hope or lit a fire under you, hit like, subscribe, and join the fight. Comment below, what's one thing you'll do this week to cut your carbon footprint? Share this with someone who needs a wake-up call. Thanks for watching, and remember, reversing climate change isn't a fantasy. It's a choice. Let's choose wisely.